Hey everybody, Beth here. Okay, this is my oh, excuse me, most recent journal that I just finished. A lot of what you're gonna see in here was inspired by ideas from Mare, who is Lilac Pages on YouTube, Heidi McGregor, who's on YouTube. So yeah, it is a beast. One of these days I'll make a small journal, but not today. Anyway, it is held together by this chiffon ribbon. So let's untie that. And I made it super long. I think I might cut it a little bit. I don't know. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was going to be with the size of this album. So let's start with the front cover. On here, we've got one of the Tim Holtz frames. This is just a little stamp that I got from Christina and Patrick Sublime Stamps. Some bling here, some Wild Orchid Craft flowers, few little buttons up here, and most of the lace you're going to see in here is going to be vintage lace, and there's a ton of it. Ephemera, the majority of it is vintage as well. Some of it is kind of newer, so maybe not all of it. Wait, where the heck am I? Oh, there we go. I've got bows going down the side, and this is some like rusted muslin. This is an image that I got from Sacred Mementos, Patty Lang. If you haven't checked her out, she's on Mondays and Thursdays. She always has some beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then this is all antique and vintage lace. So you open it up. I have not put anything on the inside cover yet. I'm thinking, though, that I might either put an image or I didn't really want to put another pocket because, good God almighty, this is big. And we have a bone folder. Look at that. What the heck is going on? Anyway, all right, on the first page here, we've got, this is just like a little fabric swatch that I made. And then this is some Tim Holtz paper. You've got some ephemera in here. Some stamping. It's a Tim Holtz stamp on muslin. You've got a key and a little dangle. And here you've got a bulldog clip and some vintage lace as well. And then on this page, open this bad boy up. This bulldog clip unclips, and this is a little teeny bag holding some ephemera inside. And on the back you just have some book page with a little bit of stenciling. And then on the first inside page here, you've got a little pocket that I made out of a doily. You've got a butterfly like transparency almost, and a little tag over here. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? There you go. This is some layered vintage lace. Not all of it is vintage. This is a applique that I got, I think, from AliExpress a long time ago. A rusted safety pin with a little ball on it. You got some vintage ephemera in this pocket, and a lot of collaging on this page, and some lace over here that has been coffee dyed and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so then that goes that way. And this is just an old envelope. It's got some ephemera in it. Oh, I missed a page. Good Lord. All right, so this is an authentic vintage photo. I don't remember where I got that one. And also some vintage, more vintage ephemera. Oh, Lord. And then here on this page, you can see we have a pocket. We've got some stamped muslin, a few buttons, and a little bit of collaging. But I better put this back because I am not going to remember where it goes. There we go. Over here, we've got some Braille paper that I sprayed with some Lindy stamps, a rusted safety pin, and some coffee dyed lace. Okay, you already did that page. And here we've got just some tracing paper. I just, the feel, the sound, it's all fabulous. Fabulous. And here we've got just, I don't know, I think that's part of a postcard. And I made a little envelope, and there's a little piece of ephemera in there. On this side, I just did some stamping. Over here, this is a rusted paper clip, safety pin. And that takes this little booklet off. Here, don't let me lose my page. A little booklet off, and that's a vintage lady postcard, a transparency butterfly, some rosette trim, and then it's just like, a little booklet for journaling on the inside of that. And that goes. Gosh, this weather, and I'm so cold all the time. It's terrible. So I'm sniffling away. Over here we've got just some Tim Holtz paper, a couple of vintage buttons, some wedding dress applique. This comes out. These are little tags that I just sort of stuck in there. And then we have this little lady, and she's going to go back where she was so I don't lose her. On this side, I kind of kept that blank. I have a little bit of Tim Holtz washi. Oh. Oh, and then there was a tag, I guess, that was attached to this. So this is a stamped image from Sublime Stamps. And some little tags on top of it. Some seam binding. That little puppy goes right in there. Okay, over here we've got a glassine bag. And inside it has, it has some, what do I want? Like charms, I guess. Glassine bag. It's got some ephemera. I'm not showing all the goodies because whoever buys this, because it will go up for sale, I want them to be surprised. So, wait. Hello? Alright. Alright. I'm not sure. Do that. Over on this side, over here, can you see? You've got a pocket, you've got another little lace fabric swatch, you've got one of those little, like, cards that it's German on one side and English on the other, and that goes in a little glassine bag that is here. See? Cute, cute. And then you got a transparency butterfly. You got a little tab up here with a vintage button. Over here, you've got a glassine bag. This is a Tim Holtz image. These are wings from a transparency, and inside you've got some ephemera. And again, I'm not going to show it all because I want everybody to be surprised who buys it. This is some seam binding that I just quickly stitched. This is a mini CD holder. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? And that's attached to a vintage, this is a marriage certificate, I believe. And at the top, you got a little tab with a vintage button, some Tim Holtz washi. On this page, it's kind of like an upside down page where you pull out the tags from the bottom. I did a little collaging with a lot of Tim Holtz here, stapled on some lace. You got vintage lace down here. Over here, you've got a glassine bag with some ephemera inside that. And then you have, what are you? You are a deed to a property. Which is really, I'm not, like I said, I'm not showing it all. A, I'm going to run out of time. And B, I want everybody to be surprised. This is just a, like a lace, an applique cluster, I guess you want to call it, with some charms. This is some vintage ephemera in there. Flip it over, you've got a glassine envelope with another little teeny envelope with a cigar band inside. This is some stenciling, a charm up at the top there. Some washi and a transparency butterfly again. Blank. I did a little Tim Holtz collaging. You're going to see a lot of Tim Holtz throughout this. I'm passionate about a lot of his stuff, so I tend to use it. Plus, I have a lot and I gotta use it. This is a court order of Pennsylvania. I think it must be a land deed. Over here, you've got a glassine bag inside, a little tag that I made, some stamping, some fabric washi. Over here, you've got one of those little, I don't know what you call those, and a key. We did another little cluster over there. Over here, we've got some collaging, some more Tim Holtz, vintage, all vintage fabrics and laces. Over here, we did some rice paper and a little phrase that says, "You make my heart smile." And this is blank, and this is just, I don't know, just a little pocket in there with this image. You got the tracing paper again. You've got the braille paper. You've got one of those multiplication cards. And I did a little cluster under there. And this says, "Just breathe." This is the other side of the braille paper. Over here we've got, this is, I'm not sure where that is from at all. But it opens up. And inside, you've got a pocket with some ephemera. You've got dangles at the top. You've got another little cluster. Washi tape holds it together. Over here, we did quite a bit of collaging. A lot of it's Tim Holtz. Some of it's from AliExpress. Over here, I did an entire cluster all the way down the page. Really pretty with a transparency butterfly, bulldog clip there, holding on to some vintage letters, also, excuse me, a vintage popcorn bag, another set of a cluster, I'm not sure where that paper's from. This is a flip up of a linen handkerchief. Down at the bottom, you've got some vintage lace. Over here, we've got a vellum Tim Holtz piece with some, oh, I'm blocking that, aren't I? And with some, not vintage, just ephemera in general. This is some old gingham fabric I had with a metal star on there. Over here, nothing. Over here, a little stenciling, some coffee dye tracing paper, some coffee dye music paper, some like Edith Holden paper. This is a glassine bag that I collaged on, and then there's a tag inside. Boy, that's tight. And some vintage lace there. Over here we've got another tag, a rusted safety pin, some rusted cloth at the top, Tim Holtz stenciling, and there's a few other little goodies there. This is just an old ledger piece. This is some gesso with some stamping on it and some trim. It's not vintage. This is blank. Over here is another one of those ladies from Sublime Stamps, a little vintage doily. On this side, just a paper clip holding this little image of a woman there, if you can see it. Braille paper again with some seam binding. Another upside down tag with some ephemera there. More collaging on this. This is blank. This is really heavily coffee dyed. This is also blank, but the lines on it from the oven showed up. This is a vellum pocket with a tag in there and a tiny bit of collaging down at the bottom. Some vintage lace at the top. This is a little vintage lace here, and I stuck a couple little pieces of ephemera. That one's Tim Holtz. That's just some stamping. Over here we've got a little more collaging with some ephemera inside there. This is just a tab with a vintage button. It's a ledger. Over here we have more collaging with some tickets, heavily collaged in this book, as well as ephemera and really a lot of vintage lace. So that's going to make the price a little bit higher than I normally do, but we'll see. Here we've got a coffee dyed glassine bag with a rusted safety pin, a little bit of fabric there, and a little stamping. Over here is another one of these. You see I'm struggling holding on to this stupid thing. Oh, hello. All right. And inside there we've got another one of those little fabric flip-ups, little fabric cards, I guess. This is part of an applique. Flip that over. You've got a little, this, believe it or not, is like some washi tape. I don't know where I got this. I think I got it from Maddie at Spectrum Art Creations. Not positive. Don't quote me on that. Over here, we have some rice paper. A little collaging on the rice paper. This is all vintage. Yeah. Nothing on the back. This is held together by a safety pin. Some collaging a little bit on the side with some ephemera there. Nothing on the back. A little stenciling. A vintage photo. And on this side is some, this is a deed to a property. This is an old part of a ledger, and this is an assignment card from a public school. Over here is a little pocket with a lot of ephemera in it. A little whale tail tab at the top. This is the back of that Edith Holden paper. Did a little pocket here with very little collaging, but a couple little pieces of ephemera. The coffee dyed tracing paper, stamped lady image. This is, that should be clicked on there. This is a window envelope, obviously, and I went around it with some rice paper. Nothing on the back and nothing on the back. So, like I said, I might do something here, but I'm not positive. So, anyway, Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that I film like crazy, so I'm terrible at it. I'll never get good. But, is what it is. Hey, everybody, you make yourself a great day, and I will see you on the flip side.